Hey everybody, I want to show you how to download the sea ice data and plot it up in a Google Sheet. And I think this is a really important skill. Right now we're all looking at all of these charts and numbers that are coming out about the spread of the virus, and so we can appreciate how important numbers and quantitative data are. Um, in climate science, having transparency around the numbers so that everybody can download the data and evaluate it themselves is really important. So I want to show you a few times over the course of the next few weeks, different types of data that you can go and download and look at yourself. And we're going to start with looking at sea ice data. And I know sometimes this can be a little bit intimidating for people, and it looks like there are a lot of steps, but it's actually pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and show this to you and walk you through how to put it up in a Google Sheet. So we're at the National Snow and Ice Data Center. This is the link that I gave you in the assignment, and you're going to scroll down and look for their sea ice analysis data. And we're actually going to get the sea ice monthly data by year. When I click on this, it's going to download this Excel file onto my computer. If you have Excel and you like doing this sort of thing, by all means, you can complete the assignment in Excel, but not everybody has access to that. So I wrote up the instructions for using Google Sheets. All right, the file's not that big, so we've got that downloaded. We're going to go over to Google Drive, and I'm going to open um, a new sheet, and I am actually, once this is set, I am going to ask it to open that file that we just downloaded. So I downloaded it from online. You could have put it into a Google Drive. I didn't. It came to my desktop. So now I'm going to bring it in here and upload it. And this is actually pretty painless. So now we are looking at the actual data, and you can see that each column is a different month and each row is a different year. And these are sea ice extent values. And we're interested in this first tab down here. This is the Northern Hemisphere extent. I'm gonna ignore around Antarctica. Okay, so if we go back to this, um, I asked you guys to look at February and September. I'm going to look at March and October, just as an example. So I'm going to click on March, and I'm going up to Insert Chart, and boom, it's a line chart. But it needs a little bit more information because right now it's sort of floating around. It needs an x-axis or horizontal axis. So we're going to hit x-axis and just click in there to open it. And I'm going to just select all the years over here and say, okay. And let's go check the chart and check. So this is really nice because now you can see the years on the bottom. So it's added some of that information. This is giving us information for March, but I'm actually asking you guys to look at both the maximum ice season toward the end of the winter and the minimum ice season toward the end of the summer. So we're going to add another series, and I'm going to click on October, but you guys are going to do September. I'm going to say okay. And this is really great. We've actually got a pretty nice chart here already. So you can see the blue line for March and the red line for October. One thing that people get interested in is the actual rate of change and trying to get some numbers to do this. So we can actually use those functions in the spreadsheet to help us with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over and we're going to customize the chart. And we're going to click on Series. And this is something that's going to apply to all series. We're going to have it add a trend line So put a straight line through both series, and you can see that already showed up. So we've got a light blue line and a pink line that are sort of showing the overall trend. But we can actually get it to do a little bit more information than that. We can get it to show us an equation for that straight line. And this is a pretty important tool because the equation that it shows, this negative number in here, that's actually a rate of change. So this is a really important skill that I think you should have. We're not going to do too much with the numbers today, but I want you to know how to do this because we're definitely going to use it for some other assignments in the next couple of weeks, especially when we're looking at rates of sea level change. So what's also interesting is you can see the rate of change in March is not the same as the rate of change in October. And so that's definitely something to think about. This chart is almost done. In the customize area, you can go in and clean it up a little bit. Like March is probably not the greatest title, so you can change that to Arctic sea ice extent. And then you can change this to also sea ice extent. You could look up the units. I think it's in millions of square kilometers, but I'd have to double check. Okay, so anyway, once you have this in good shape, you can copy it, paste it into a Google Sheet, and you should be good to go. Hopefully this goes smoothly. Find me in GChat or on email if you have any questions.